Hey guys, John here with another video. I want to do a little bit something different this time. I have with me the Meta Quest 3S Xbox Edition. And this released just last month under a surprise drop announcement between Xbox and Meta. And at first I wasn't too keen on getting it, but after I saw the colors I just had to spring for this. Completely honest, this is not an Xbox console. This is a co-branded product with Xbox colors with a controller that's included with the Meta Quest. They haven't done this since like the old Quest days. And so let's get to the unboxing of this and I'll give you my final thoughts as a VR enthusiast over 10 years. Let's open the box itself. Alright, comes in a nice black branded box, almost looks like a shoe box. Here's the box. There's the Xbox and the Meta brand logos on it. Now I'm gonna open it. And there we have it. Alright, so in the box we have the black version of the Meta Quest 3S. You can see the nice green accented colors reminiscent of Xbox. They even have the logo on the side. And this is an Elite strap. It does come with that, so you don't need to buy a separate one, which is really nice. And here we have the cable with the brick. And then here it is, the Xbox branded Meta Quest 3/3S controllers. Now this is an amazing color. I'm gonna bring my Xbox controller up just to compare it later, but oh, look at that accent, it's so nice. And then finally, the coolest thing in the box, in my opinion, is this, the special edition Meta Quest 3S Xbox Series controller. It just looks like something that should have been default with the Xbox Series, but we actually have not had an official colorway in this scheme outside of like custom lab controllers. So this is amazing to see, and this will be amazing to add to my collection. Alright, doing a quick little comparison. So this is one of my favorite controller designs of all time. This is the Xbox Velocity Green controller. And as you can see, it's basically almost a perfect match for the color scheme of the limited edition Xbox controller. And also matches the color scheme on the headset itself and the controllers. Oh yeah, you can really see that. Look at that. So if you're interested in a black Meta Quest design, I know a lot of people have been asking for a black Meta Quest. Like, hey, I mean, this is an amazing colorway, and I think they nailed the branding on this product. Otherwise, else on the inside, you have the Meta little warranty card folder, except there's a little Xbox icon now, and this does come with 3 months of Xbox Game Pass. I believe it's Ultimate, and then you can redeem it if you open the Xbox app on your headset. So I don't believe there's a physical code in here. Now, I'm hoping that this could just stack with my existing Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership. We'll see. And then with every Meta Quest headset, it also comes with 3 months of Horizon Plus, which is their rebranded game subscription service. So if you're new to VR, definitely redeem that. And then also accept a friend's referral if your friend has a Meta Quest referral, because both of you will earn a little bit of money. I believe the current is $30 per person. So that's what I'm going to set up with my wife, because this is going to be mainly her headset as we play together. Alright, so I'm going to test putting this thing on for the first time. Now, I have worn other Meta Quest headsets before. Like, my history goes back as far as like a decade ago. I bought the original HTC Vive when it first came out. And then from there, in college, I was given a Quest 2 at the time, as they were called, during my studies as an undergraduate and graduate student. And then during COVID, I actually upgraded to a Valve Index, which is still to this day one of my personal favorite wired VR headsets. And now I do own another Meta Quest 3 that I bought late last year, and now this is my first time trying the Quest 3S on. So let's give it a shot. And I know this is the Elite strap, so I'm gonna enlarge it a little bit and adjust the head strap. So you guys won't be able to see anything, but I'm just trying to adjust this. Okay, yeah, I would say like having the Elite strap makes a huge difference. I've always heard the biggest complaint is, of course, the head strap that came default with the Meta Quest headsets. So this feels just like the other one that I own. And yeah, I would say the fit is pretty good. It does, of course, lean a little heavy towards the front, but the Elite head strap helps offset that weight towards your back. And yeah, I would say this is almost no different from my Meta Quest 3 in terms of like comfortability. It's basically the same head strap, just in black. And now let's go on to actually playing some games on the Xbox Quest 3S. Alright, so I'm going through the setup process right now. Kind of just updated the firmware and I want to pair it. And as you can see on the phone right there, hopefully you guys can see it on the camera, there's the Meta Quest Xbox 3S edition. So that's what I'm going to do to pair it. And then I already got my referral promotional credit for myself, but also it also tells you for the Xbox that you can now redeem it. So I'm going to do all that right now. And of course, you also get the Meta Horizon Plus membership for 3 months. So I do believe out of the box, you're getting 3 months of Xbox Game Pass, but also getting 3 months of Horizon Plus, which is a great way to dive into a variety of VR games to see what you kind of like out there. So yeah, I do believe this is really good value for newcomers. Alright, so hopefully you guys should be able to see what I'm seeing. I'm casting it to my desktop right now to capture, but this is basically what a finished setup looks like for an Xbox Meta Quest 3S. It's basically the same setup as all the other Meta Quests out there, with the addition of the Xbox step, which they've already installed the Xbox app by default on here, and I'm logged in to my wife's account. So now I'm gonna try using the Xbox controller. This thing, I'm holding it in my hand right now, but there's no like animation for it. This thing already comes pre-paired, so as long as you pull the battery tab, it just automatically detects your headset right away. So I'm really happy with that. I'm using it right now, and yeah, it feels pretty good. So essentially what the Xbox portion of this is you're able to play cloud gaming, right? As long as you have the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate sub that allows it. The idea, right, is that you're able to play all these games through Game Pass on a huge screen on your VR headset, right? So let's hop into a couple just to kind of show you. So you can also stream your own game too. If you own a game on the Xbox platform, you're able to stream some of it straight up from here. This is only beneficial if you have an Xbox. But otherwise, you don't need to worry about owning an Xbox or anything else, because there are so many games that are available for the cloud to play on. You can use any Xbox account that has the Game Pass Ultimate. It doesn't even have to be the account that you set up on this headset. For example, I can switch to my own account just because I want to save the code for later. But yeah, let's take a browse and let's see what we want to play. I think I know what I want to play right off the bat. Yes, the good old anthem. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's playing the Halo theme song. Yes, I'm playing with the gamepad. Let's just get into a little custom game, shall we? Alright, so I'm playing on my controller. It is a little bit weird. I can't really see my controller right now. If I angle it like a little bit below myself in a little peephole, I can kind of see it, but I mean, it plays for sure. Now, sound quality's fine for the Meta Quest 3 headset. I can hear everything just well. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Gameplay-wise, it seems pretty solid. It seems like it's running at 60 frames. Resolution, I can definitely tell what I'm doing. I wouldn't say, like, obviously if you're playing in VR, you're not going for the most pristine visual clarity experience, but I would say this is definitely more than playable for sure. I can see this being useful in a situation where maybe you're in a place there's no TV, no console. You can just bust out your VR headset and just be in a world of gaming this way. Latency-wise, yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be latency with cloud streaming, and a little bit even more so since you're doing a VR headset with the controller connected to it. But this is not anything that like 90% of players really have to worry about, unless you're like a super competitive gamer, in which case you probably wouldn't even be doing this in the first place, right? But for the average consumer, this is kind of cool. And the fact that I'm able to just play Halo like this in VR is kind of insane to me. And I think you can also readjust the screen. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Hey, we got the Xbox background. All right. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now, this is awesome. So I can pair Bluetooth to bright. I can curve the window. Ooh, okay. See that curve and uncurve? That's nice. That's nice. I can enter pass-through, which means I wouldn't have the background in the back. I can adjust the dimming, and I can exit the theater view, and I believe I can access the Xbox button just like that with the controller. This is a cool experience so far, and I definitely would say this is playable, right? And with the vast library, there's a lot more you can do, right? Like, let's jump into another game. Here we go. Blueprints. And granted, I mean, this goes without saying, you got to have a good connection, right? Like, you have to have at least a good 5 GHz connection, right? In order for this to even work. It's even better if you have even better Wi-Fi. I would say so far, like, the experience is pretty good. The games only take like less than 10 seconds to load to the main menu. And yeah, let's see if it works. So I played Blueprints on the PC and my Xbox, and because it's Xbox Play Anywhere, that literally means everywhere, right? So I should be able to, I should be able to just continue my game from here. Alright, nice. Yeah, so I'm able to play the game just as I expected. This is a kind of like a roguelike game where you're able to go through different houses, or get different rooms in a house. But I would say so far, yeah, the fact that I'm able to just pick up from my save file, right, like, and I'm able to just, like, pick it up from the get-go and just have everything on here. I can see this being a very valuable thing for Xbox players as well, in order to, you know, just continue a game on the go, right? Like, this is definitely an interesting option to consider. Let's try streaming our own game, right? Like, while we're here, why not? So I'm gonna have to find a game that I own on the Xbox platform. Alright, let's dive into Baldur's Gate 3. I own this. I've been playing this on the console. Okay, it's syncing my data as expected. That's awesome. Alright, and it looks like I can just continue my game. Alright, it did take a little bit of loading, but we are in the game of Baldur's Gate 3. Definitely is playable for sure, especially for something like a turn-based game. This would probably be a really good fit for maybe longer trips and stuff, where, you know, you're just trying to relax and play a couple games. I gotta admit, at first I was a little bit skeptical about cloud streaming in VR, but now that this is in front of me right now, this is kind of impressive. I think I might be more sold on cloud streaming now that, like, they're trying to integrate Xbox and cloud streaming services with VR. The only thing is, I wish I could see my controller. The fact that I'm just, like, holding a blank space of nothing is kind of weird. It'd be even more cool if, like, you could see your controller, just because, like, you can see, like, this Quest controller, right? And you can see if I pressed it or not with the little things too, right? It'd be awesome if I could replicate that with my Xbox controller, but the fact that I just don't see anything, it's a little bit jarring, to say the least. Okay, so that was my setup and gameplay review of the Meta Quest 3S Xbox Edition. Now, I could also go into VR games and not, but there's already plenty of reviews out there already, and plus this is just basically a reskin Meta Quest 3S. Alright, so I mentioned I had another Meta Quest 3 in the house, so this is the Meta Quest 3 that I bought last year on a pretty good deal during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And here is the white variant of the Elite strap. Here is the black variant. Alright. So as you can see, they perfectly made a black version of the Elite strap for the Meta Quest 3 and 3S. Although this one does not have the included battery in the back though. So if you were wondering if this is just the Elite strap, this is just the Elite strap. It does not have, in fact, the extended battery in the back, unfortunately. It's already a decent deal already. Like, so for 400 bucks, right? You're basically getting a Meta Quest 3S, admittedly only 128 gigabytes, but they're including the Elite strap, which is already some cost in and of itself, in addition to a fully fledged custom Xbox Series controller, and they're also throwing in 3 months of Game Pass on top of that. So if you do the math, it's actually a little bit more worth it to buy the bundle, especially if you're already going for like a limited edition colorway anyways. To go into like some like gripes about the product, I do think this would have been better if it was the like 512 gigabyte version. Like the Meta Quest 3S, one of the versions is 512, and I believe that's more than enough for a lot of the games out there. 128 is manageable, but if you play a lot of like super graphically intense single player games, that space will start to fill up a lot. So I'll probably have to find myself deleting and only playing the games I want to play on here. And then my second con, as I've already said, was the fact that it doesn't come with the battery pack specifically. Not a huge knock. I know the battery pack's like you know, more like luxurious like accessory. I'm happy they at least included the Elite strap though, so at least that's good. And then finally, my third con is obviously the elephant in the room is that this is a 3S and not a 3. If you guys don't know the main difference, right? is mainly in the lenses itself. So the Meta Quest 3 comes with pancake lenses, which ultimately are just better for clarity. It's slightly higher resolution, and they've been kind of the industry standard for a while now, since this thing released a little over 2 years ago. While the 3S, it has the same processing power as the 3. The main difference is it's still using the old Fresco lenses, and those are kind of old school. They were existing in the Quest 2, and they are not as good as the pancake lenses. Some people don't mind them. I've tried them before and I thought they were fine, but the clarity is a little bit better. I think your FOV is a little bit better in the 3 as well. So those are really my main gripes, but I also understand that as a company, this is their first collab with each other. They're trying to bring Xbox players, console players into the VR market. I think for $400 though, you are getting a pretty good deal, especially intro into the VR market itself. Now, for the power VR users out there, I consider myself to be one, I still think the Meta Quest 3 is still kind of the king of the wireless VR market right now, especially with the better lenses. And then also a couple of other things too. So like, here's my charging dock. I don't know if you can get this anymore. I got this from Best Buy. It's the Insignia charging dock for the Meta Quest 3. Specifically, the Meta Quest 3 has a charging option down here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. It's like right here, right? Where you can plop it onto a compatible dock and it will charge the headset. And then some of these third-party chargers also charge the Elite battery strap that's attached as well. So I find that super convenient for you to just pick up and put down onto the charging board. You know, I just don't have to think about it. I do know if I get a charging accessory for this, I will probably have to just plug it in manually. In fact, that's where we're going to go to now in the next section. Alright, so it was Prime Day recently, so I bought myself a Meta Quest 3S charging dock. Now, here's the kind of like an extra gripe I do have with this right now. I could not, for the life of me, find specifically a black charging dock. There are a couple, but the problem is that they all do not have the rechargeable battery packs that are also colorwayed in black. So what I'm saying is they come with like these little like special controller battery backs, but they're always in white. The problem is that these controllers are always black, so you're going to have to do some little customization if you want to get these to match the same color. Because I've searched the internet, there are black docks out there, but there's not black docks with rechargeable batteries packs that are also in black. Now, I could just go the route of like just having rechargeable batteries, right? That's always an alternative route, just so I can always keep the official controller on here. But that's something to note if you're also thinking about buying the Meta Quest 3S Xbox Edition. So I might need to do some like creative painting on this if I really want to use this. But otherwise, it seems like the Meta Quest 3S will fit any of the docks that it's specifically designed for. So, just like that. This one is a cable one though, because like I said, there's no battery charging on the bottom, so you're gonna have to attach the USB-C cable to the port to charge it. But it's still nice to have like a dock like this, just so whenever you need to put it down, you can at least know that this is also a charging area, and a controller holder too, in case you just want to have a place to kind of hold your controllers in place, just like so. I'll put the links in the description box if you want for some of this stuff. Xbox portion, I believe, is super solid for this bundle, right? Like the fact that you have a fully fledged Xbox controller with 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate, as well as Horizon Plus, and then it's just all in this like nice like green accented color. I definitely think this is a really good package, especially for newcomers to VR, right? And I do think this is the right move for Microsoft to be wanting to get into the VR space. The only thing that's really a huge elephant in the room in all this is there's no Xbox VR game, right? Like at least when Steam went into VR with the Valve Index, there was like a lot of games that supported Steam VR, as well as they made their own Half-Life Alyx, right? Like we're not seeing the same with Xbox. Like even PlayStation had PlayStation VR exclusives, which in my opinion, I do think ultimately hurt the industry a little bit, but they still came to Steam VR later through the help of either official ports or mods, right? But on Xbox side, we don't see any first-party VR games, right? And there might become a day when there's going to be people who have, you know, the expertise to port something into VR. I mean, it'd be cool to play like Halo in VR, right? Or something like that. But yeah, we just don't have any like first party Xbox VR games right now. Now you can play the whole Game Pass Ultimate Library in VR. That's awesome. That's what I showed off. But it'd be even more cool to see Microsoft invest in something like that, like a VR port to get people into playing more VR and subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate as a result, right? That's what I would love to see in the future. So in closing, final thoughts, I do think if you are looking to dive into VR and maybe you've had a fascination with either cloud streaming or you just want like a complete intro newcomer package, I do think the Xbox Meta Quest 3S Limited Edition would be a good way to dive in. Currently, I think it's sold out on the Meta website. I do buy this through Best Buy, so as long as they're still stocked there, that's where you can probably find it. And we don't know how long they're going to be printing this limited edition. It might just be gone before the end of the year before you know it. So if you want the black colorway with the green accent, I would definitely spring on it now. Otherwise, in my opinion, if you're looking for like one of the best VR experiences right now, I still would recommend the original Meta Quest 3 if you're looking for graphical fidelity and better lenses. Like ultimately, like you're getting a better lens, better FOV, slightly better resolution, as well as little conveniences like the charging port on the bottom of the headset. Otherwise, hardware, they're almost completely identical. They will play the same graphical fidelity games. You can do the same things on each other's headsets as you wish, and even play Xbox on this as well, right? If you can just grab yourself another Xbox controller, and you basically have another edition, just not in the black color, right? This is going for about $399, a little over $400 post-tax. You can kind of find the Meta Quest 3 on sale. I've seen it go on sale regularly under $500. I got mine for about $400 with some credit last year, so I thought that was a great deal. And then, yeah, if you attach some third-party accessories like the battery strap to it, you can also get an Xbox controller if you wish to play the cloud VR games. Get yourself a little charging dock that does actually match the colors of the controller, right? Because as of right now, there's unfortunately no black variant, because I'm pretty sure third-party accessory makers didn't realize they were going to release this right so soon. But maybe with time we'll see more accessories come out with this. I would love to see like a battery pack elite strap with this right now, because currently I don't think there even is one if you wanted that option. Otherwise, yeah, I do think both are really good products in their respective price ranges and what they offer. Now, if you're anti-meta for some reason, there's unfortunately not a lot of options I can say right now. Like as a VR enthusiast that's been following the news for over a decade, like Sony pretty much gave us support for PSVR, right? And while they've ported it to PC, you know, like your other option is like wired VR headsets, which I think Valve Index is currently the best right now. But after doing wireless, I firmly believe I cannot really go back to a wired experience, right? And there's other players in the game right now. You'll hear of headsets from like other medium to big well-known companies, but only time will tell to see if they'll truly break into the market as much as Meta has, right? So I would say for now, this is around the middle of 2025. I do think either headset is a really solid purchase right now, and I would recommend either of them, especially for people who are wanting to get into VR. So that's been my initial unboxing, setup, and review of the Xbox Meta Quest 3S comparison to the Meta Quest 3. If you like more videos like this, please like, comment, and especially subscribe. We're trying to grow the second channel. I don't really talk about my VR gaming experiences as much, but yeah, if you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments down below what you want to see. Maybe you want to see some of my favorite VR games. Maybe you want to see some VR local multiplayer, especially now that I have two headsets, right? We can do that at the house. But yeah, just let me know. And thanks again for watching.